The wind on Fifth Avenue didn't just blow, it bit. It had teeth. It gnawed at the exposed skin of shoppers rushing from one heated flagship store to another, carrying bags filled with perfumes, cashmere, and the latest electronics. It was Christmas Eve in the city, and the air smelled of roasted chestnuts and expensive cologne. But down at knee level, where 7-year-old Lily sat, the air smelled only of exhaust fumes and wet, dirty snow. Lily was a smudge of gray in a world of technicolor. Her coat was 3 sizes too big, a donated puffer jacket with the stuffing coming out the right shoulder. Her boots were actually sneakers, wrapped in plastic bags to keep the slush out. They didn't work. Her toes had stopped hurting an hour ago, which she knew was a bad sign. In her lap, she held a small cardboard box. Inside were cheap, plastic disposable lighters. $1, she whispered. Her voice was a cracked reed, barely audible over the Christmas jazz blaring from the store speakers. Lighters, $1, please. A man in camel hair coat walked by. He was on his phone, laughing loudly. Yeah, I got the villa at Aspen for the week. It's gonna be insane. He stepped right in a puddle of slush, splashing dirty ice water onto Lily's face. He didn't notice, or maybe he did, and he just didn't care. He kept walking, his laughter trailing behind him like smoke. Lily wiped the freezing water from her cheek. She didn't cry. Crying made your face wet, and wet meant colder. She just shivered, a deep, bone-rattling shiver that started in her spine and shook her whole small frame. Just one lighter, she said to a woman walking a poodle wearing a sweater that cost more than Lily's entire life. Please, ma'am, for a candle? The woman pulled the dog away sharply. Don't look at her, Fifi, probably has fleas. Rejection. It hit harder than the wind. Lily wasn't begging for free money. She was trying to work. Her grandmother, back in the cold basement apartment they shared, was sick. They needed medicine. They needed soup. Lily looked up at the towering skyscrapers. Every window was lit up, golden and warm. Behind those glass walls, people were raising toasts, eating turkeys, opening gifts. It felt like they lived on a different planet, a planet where cold didn't exist. Why? Lily whispered to the gray sky. Why can't I be in the warm? The snow began to fall harder, thick, heavy flakes that covered her eyelashes. The crowds were thinning out now. It was getting late. People were going home to their families. Lily had no sales. 0. If she went home now, her grandmother would look at her with those sad, tired eyes and say, "It's okay, baby." But Lily would know it wasn't okay. They would be hungry again. So she stayed. She pulled her knees to her chest, trying to become a ball, trying to preserve the tiny spark of heat left in her heart. 3 people stood out that night. 3 people who could have saved her, but chose not to. First was Mr. Sterling. He came out of a jewelry store, adjusting his soup scarf. He had just bought a diamond necklace for his mistress. He felt generous. He felt like a king. He saw Lily. He actually stopped. Lily's heart leaped. She held up a blue lighter. $1, sir. Mr. Sterling looked at the lighter, then at Lily. He reached into his pocket. Lily held her breath. He pulled out a cigar wrapper. "Here," he said, dropping the trash into her box. "Clean that up. It's an eyesore." He smirked, a cruel, power-tripping smirk. "You're ruining the aesthetic of the street, kid. Go home." He walked away, humming Silent Night. Second was Mrs. Van Sant. She was a mother. She was walking with her 2 children, who were dressed in velvet coats holding giant candy canes. Lily looked at the children with longing, not for the candy, but for the mother's hand holding theirs. "Excuse me," she said, her voice trembling. I'm really cold." Mrs. Van Sant stopped. She looked at Lily. For a second, there was a flicker of something in her eyes. Pity? Guilt? But then she looked at her own children. She gripped their hands tighter. "Come along, darlings. Don't stare. It's rude." "But Mummy," her little boy said, "she looks frozen." "She has parents to worry about that. It's not our problem. We donated to the charity gala last week. We've done our part." She hurried them away, walking faster, as if poverty was a contagious disease she needed to outrun. Third was the influencer, a young man with a bright ring light attached to his phone, live streaming to his followers. "Hey guys, Christmas in NYC, it's magical," he shouted at his screen. He panned the camera around and it landed on Lily. "Oh, look at this," he said, putting on a sad face for the camera. "So heartbreaking, a homeless kid on Christmas. Guys, smash that like button if you think we should end poverty." He filmed her for 10 seconds. He zoomed in on her shivering hands. Can you help?" Lily asked, looking at the camera lens. "Send prayers, guys," the influencer said, turning the camera back to himself. "Okay, moving on to the Rockefeller tree. Let's go." He used her misery for content, for likes, for engagement. And he left her there, colder than before. The street was almost empty now. The lights in the shop windows started to dim. The city was going to sleep, and it was leaving Lily outside. Lily couldn't feel her feet anymore. The numbness was creeping up her legs. It was a strange sensation, not painful, but heavy, like she was turning into stone. She knew she shouldn't, but she took one of the lighters from the box. Just for a second, she thought, just to see the fire. She flicked the wheel. Plick! A tiny yellow flame sprang to life. It danced in the wind, fragile and brave. Lily stared into the flame, and as she stared, the world around her changed. The cold brick wall of the bank behind her dissolved. Instead, she saw a fireplace, a huge stone fireplace with roaring logs. There was a thick rug. There was a Christmas tree taller than a giant, covered in lights that twinkled like stars. "Grandma?" Lily called out. In the vision, her grandmother was young and healthy. She was smiling, holding a steaming bowl of stew. "Come in, Lily. It's warm here." Lily reached out her hand to touch the warmth. Pfft! The wind blew the lighter out. The fireplace vanished. The rug vanished. The grandmother vanished. Lily was back on the cold, hard concrete. The darkness rushed back in, colder than before. The disappointment was a physical blow to her chest. She flicked the lighter again, desperately. Click, click, flare. The flame returned. Now she saw a table, a feast. There was a roasted goose, just like in the stories. There were mashed potatoes with pools of butter. There were hot rolls and cakes, strawberry cakes with thick cream. "I'm so hungry," she whimpered. She leaned forward to take a bite of the cake. Pfft. Out again. Lily was sobbing now. Her tears froze on her cheeks instantly. "Please," she begged the plastic lighter, "don't go out. Take me back." She grabbed another lighter and another. She struck 3 of them at once, holding them together to make a bigger flame. The light flared up, bright and fierce. And this time, she didn't see a room. She saw a person. He was standing in the flame, but he wasn't burning. He was walking towards her, out of the light. He was tall. He wore a simple coat, not silk or fur, but it looked woven from a material that seemed to absorb the light around it. His hair was long, and snowflakes fell on it, but didn't melt. He didn't look like the shoppers. He didn't look like Mr. Sterling or Mrs. Van Sant. He looked like safety. He walked right up to Lily. He didn't mind the slush. He didn't mind the dirty box of lighters. He knelt down. For the first time all night, someone got down to her level. "Lily," he said. He knew her name. He didn't ask. He knew. "I'm cold," Lily whispered, her teeth chattering so hard she could barely speak. I tried to sell them." "I know," the stranger said. His voice was deeper than the rumble of the subway, but softer than the falling snow. "You have worked hard. You have been so brave. Are you going to buy a lighter?" The stranger smiled. It was a sad smile, full of infinite compassion. "No, little one, I am here to make a trade." "A trade?" "Your cold for my warmth, your hunger for my feast, your pain for my peace." He took off his coat. Underneath, he wore a white tunic that seemed to glow. He took the heavy, warm coat and wrapped it around Lily's shoulders. It wasn't just fabric. It was love. Physical, tangible love. The moment the coat touched her, the numbness vanished. The pain in her toes disappeared. The gnawing hunger in her belly was replaced by a feeling of fullness. She felt lighter, as if gravity had let go of her. "It's so warm," Lily breathed, closing her eyes. "Is this what Christmas feels like?" "This is what home feels like," the stranger said. "Are you ready to go home, Lily? Grandma is waiting. She arrived just a moment ago." Lily opened her eyes. She looked at the cold gray city. She looked at the stranger's hand extended towards her. There was a scar on his wrist, a mark of an old wound. "Yes," Lily said. "Take me." She took his hand, and in the blink of an eye, the space on the sidewalk was empty. The box of lighters remained. The dirty plastic bags from her shoes remained, but Lily was gone. No footprints leading away, just gone. The next morning was Christmas Day. The sun shone brightly on the snow, making the city look clean and new. Mr. Sterling walked out of his townhouse. He was holding a large, beautifully wrapped box, the gift for his mistress. He felt good. Suddenly, his hand started to burn. "Ouch," he yelped, almost dropping the box. He looked at the gift. The colorful wrapping paper was turning black. It was smoking. He tried to throw the box down, but he couldn't. It was stuck to his hands. The box dissolved into a heavy, jagged lump of glowing red coal. "What is this?" he screamed, shaking his hands. "Get it off, it burns." But the coal wouldn't drop. It didn't burn his flesh in a way that left a scar, but it burned his nerves. It burned with a heat that went straight to his soul. It felt like the weight of 1,000 sins. Passers-by stopped and stared. A wealthy man in a suit, screaming, holding a burning rock he couldn't let go of. A few blocks away, Mrs. Van Sant was handing gifts to her children. "Here, darling," she smiled, handing a box to her son. As her fingers touched the box, it turned gray, then black, then red. Heat seared her palms. She shrieked. The beautiful toy turned into a smoking cinder. "Mommy, what's wrong?" her son cried. I can't put it down," Mrs. Van Sant sobbed. She fell to her knees in her expensive living room. The coal was heavy, pulling her arms down. And then she remembered. She remembered the eyes of the little girls she had walked past. "It's not our problem," she had said. Now the heat in her hands whispered back, "It is your problem now." The influencer woke up to check his phone. He had thousands of likes on his video of the homeless girl. "We're viral, baby," he cheered. He reached for his phone. The moment he touched it, the metal sizzled. The sleek iPhone turned into a hot, glowing ember. "Ah!" he screamed, dancing around his room, trying to shake the burning coal from his hand. He couldn't. He couldn't scroll. He couldn't film. He could only hold the burning weight of his own vanity. Across the city, dozens of people, the ones who had looked, the ones who had laughed, the ones who had ignored, found themselves holding burning coals. They ran to the hospitals, but doctors found no burns on their skin. "It's psychosomatic," the doctors said, or spiritual. They ran to the churches. And there, in the silence of the cathedral, they heard a voice. It wasn't a loud voice. It was the voice of the stranger. "I was cold, and ye gave me no clothes. I was hungry, and ye gave me no food. I was a child at your feet, and you stepped over me." Mr. Sterling fell to his knees at the altar, the coal glowing fiercely in his hands. "Lord, when did we see you?" he wept. "We never saw you. Truly, I tell you, whatever ye did not do for one of the least of these, ye did not do for me." The punishment was not eternal fire. It was simpler. It was remembrance. They would carry the coals of indifference until their hearts changed. For some, the coals would cool down in a day after they went out and gave everything they had to the poor. For others, like Mr. Sterling, the coals would burn for years, a constant, painful reminder of the night he threw a cigar wrapper at an angel. And on the street corner, where Lily used to sit, the snow had melted. In the cracks of the concrete, where her frozen tears had fallen, small white snowdrops were blooming. They were the only things in the city that were truly warm.